a speck of light is showing, so the danger must be growing. Are the fires of hell a-glowing? Is the grisly reaper mowing? Yes! The danger must be growing, for the roars keep on rowing. And they're certainly not showing any signs that they are flowing.
Kill the demon!
I love and hate this game for various reasons. I love it for the simple fact that it's another Halo game. I love that it introduced more things for me to appreciate about Halo. New weapons, a more developed story. I love the music that Marty did on this game. In my opinion, the best he's ever made. It's not sad jazz in the rain, but it's ethereal to say the least. But those are things you'd expect out of a sequel to a beloved franchise. But I hate it for all the things it got wrong, be it intentional or due to how hellish Halo 2's development was. There was a lot of pressure from Microsoft for Bungie to make another Halo game, since it was what saved the Xbox from failing as hard as the Zune did. Remember the Zune? That's my point. Halo is the reason we still have Xbox today, and the Kinect is why we see Xbox as a joke when it comes to making decisions on what console to invest in. Don Matrick, Xbox CEO at the time, could very well have been a saboteur working for Sony in secret, and there isn't any evidence to suggest otherwise because of how much he damaged the reputation of the Xbox. Purely because of this idea that if Xbox were to copy what Nintendo was doing with the Wii, that it would boost sales for the console, because more dementia patients in nursing homes would be mildly interested in playing a budget version of Wii Sports. Except
this is controller-free games and entertainment.
We have a product for people who aren't able to get some form of connectivity. It's called Xbox 360.
I could also get into how Microsoft purchased respectable game developers for billions of dollars and forced them to make garbage games, or how 343 Industries ruined the Halo franchise. But even that being the case, it was still the only reason people bought an Xbox, myself included, until they brought it to Steam, and now Xbox is dead to me. So it makes sense that Microsoft back then would push Bungie to make a sequel, even if Bungie never planned to make one, despite the ending of the first Halo implying otherwise. Bungie began working on Halo 2 without a clear understanding of what it was actually going to be like when, or even how, they would finish it, and there is no greater example of this point than the E3 demo they showcased in 2003.
These folks didn't wait in line to hear your lips flippity flap. Knuckle up and get ready to dance, you pasty bastard.
Yes, sir, Sergeant.
What you good people are about to see is an operation in progress. This is a real-time feed. No smoke and mirrors, pre-recorded bullshit. Have made landfall and occupied one of our cities. We will link up with our forces in theater, engage the enemy, and boot their sorry behinds back into the stratosphere. Yo, come over, Biatch.
Sir.
You got anything?
Well, I need to talk about
You think so? Kill the lights!
It was bullshit. Everything that was shown at E3 was staged and scripted, while not pre-recorded. It still wasn't as authentic as they would make you believe. In fact, everything that was shown was made specifically for E3, without the consideration of whether or not what would be shown would even make it into the final game at all. It demonstrates why I personally despise E3, and all the deceptive trends that these massive AAA game developers continue to follow. The game industry is for the most part full of shit, and it's why I never invest my time into games that aren't 20 years old by this point in time, unless it's a boomer shooter throwback made by indie developers or whatever it is that New Blood are working on. So after E3 came and went, Bungie realized they were up shit creek. Knowing that what they have spent all this time working on couldn't actually make it into the final game, everything was full of bugs, unplayably broken, and poorly optimized for a console that was by this point soon to be dead in the water. Basically something Gordon Ramsay would scream in your face for serving him. So they had to scrap all of it and crunch even harder to have something that could be playable by the set deadline of Halo 2's release, which like most games, is always scheduled for a holiday release, because mindless capitalism. And without the ability for developers to be lazy and just patch a game years after releasing it, or being so complacent with their own bullshit that they never end up fixing a broken game after launch and get away with it, it meant that this had to be as perfect as it could ever be. But they fucked up. Halo 2 on Legendary isn't even a difficulty, it's the 5th circle of hell, and trust me, after finishing this game you'll feel like you've been skinny dipping in the sticks. This is what happens when you crunch, and you're denied the time and resources you desperately need to complete a project to your utmost satisfaction. This is what happens when you let corporate fuck you in the ass without a rubber. But now that I've explained all that and offered much needed context for what's to follow, now, we feel a pain not even the Cenobites could inflict. I'm not ready, and neither are you. Be warned. All jokes aside, this is fucking horrible. Just like the first game, you're required to use a plasma pistol and a precision weapon, in this case the battle rifle, but the elites in this are now even more brutal and will not stop shooting at you even when behind cover. The second you pop out of that cover you're dead, every fucking time. There's no way to effectively kill Covenant without using the noob combo. Naturally it was the same in the case of Halo 1, but here it's far less forgiving in what it will allow you to approach in battle. The SMG is the stand-in for the assault rifle now, and the gimmick being that you can use two of them at once. Other weapons that can be dual wielded are the plasma pistol and rifle, needlers, and magnums. These can also be interchanged in each hand. Fun to use initially and maybe even useful on lower difficulties, much like all of the weapons, but utterly useless here. As if the game wasn't punishing you enough for playing it on Legendary, it rewards you with Halo 2 shotgun, which is now fucking useless. Now it has less effective range than before, and can now barely do a thing to elite shields. Getting up close to an elite is certain death, so now, having the shotgun be as weak as it is, it just makes you feel even more weak and pathetic than you already do trying to complete the first mission of this game. That's not to say there isn't a positive, even if I can only think of one. The energy sword. It used to be a one-hit kill weapon for the Covenant to use on you, and now, it's a one-hit kill for them. Sometimes, and if you're proficient in button combos, you can absolutely abuse the lunging mechanic this sword gives you. People use this for speedrunning and it never fails to amuse me. This game is, for lack of a better word, undercooked. But not only that, it is tainted. You're about to see why.
You can't take a girl to the library! The bathrooms stink!
The mission starts you off with a scorpion, but you're not gonna need that since it's about as fragile as Clive Palmer.
The West Australian this week depicted you as Dr. Evil, as a cane toad. The headline was Pest.
Goodbye. I've had enough talking to you, mate. See you.
Mr. Palmer, Clive Palmer, there on the line from the Gold Coast.
There's a warthog right next to it which you can use to skip everything on the bridge. And as you saw beforehand, you're obviously not supposed to be finding exploits like this to cheat your way through the game to take the easy way out of something that should be fun and challenging, because it's too infuriating to do as intended. But it's not a good sign when doing this seems more appropriate than having to actually play the game as intended. And eventually, if this becomes a constant thing that you're required to do, it breaks the enjoyment of the game fundamentally. And from that point forward it won't ever be the same. And if you ever decide to replay this game on normal or heroic, you'll end up feeling like it was too easy. But is it really that fun to play this game on legendary again? I've done it more times than I can count now, but still I agonize ever doing so for what it robs of me. That being my time, my patience, and a chance of experiencing something fun whenever I do go back to revisit it. You then get to the tunnels, and guess what's waiting for you down there? Yep, more snipers. After making your way through the tunnels, you're then greeted with more fucking snipers, and now they endlessly respawn in this section of the map. Just get into the warthog and get the fuck out of there as fast as possible. There is literally no other way around this. Then you're up against two wraiths, ghosts, and you guessed it, more fucking jackal snipers. It doesn't fucking end. Then you get past all that to finally get to take down that scarab. Seriously, what the fuck? I'm done with this shit already.
Careful, Chief. That elite was an ultra, and those pilots are no pushovers either.
That's right, you mothers! Run!
Not if we can help it, Sergeant. Extract the Chief and return to an amberclad.
Roger that. Status.
Sir, the Prophet is bugging out. Request permission to engage.
Negative, Commander. I'll vector 2 heavies for Starside intercept.
Bam! Slip space rupture off the target's bow. It's going to jump inside the city.
There's no time, sir.
Green light. Green light to engage.
Punch it. Get us close.
Ma'am, without a destination solution...
We are not losing that ship.
Skip it about and that up!
All right, who's not dead? Sound off.
Plot twist, that elite we've been seeing in the cutscenes with the voice of Keith David is actually a playable character, and now we're the Covenant.
Don't let me have to open a can of whoop-ass on you, yeah?
I sure hope that my shields are as strong as the other elites.
Nope.
But you do get to have active camouflage, which lasts for an astounding couple of seconds. It's not like this on the other difficulties, but Bungie couldn't help themselves. I feel like maybe they're deliberately trying to make me suffer for what they had to go through to make this game. It's just mean. It's a short mission though, and the addition of active camouflage does help you out tremendously, even if it lasts a couple of seconds, or that it takes forever to recharge. But it means you can skip past certain areas, as well as give them the thief's blackjack treatment. There's also no sniper jackals in this mission. However, all the heretic grunts use needlers and fuel rod cannons, which can fuck right off. And the heretic elites have either carbines, sentinel beams, or energy swords. 2 of them being hitscan weapons and 1 being an instant kill. But this is nothing like getting hit by a beam rifle from across the fucking planet. You hop into a Banshee to find the heretic leader, but there's no point in flying around wasting time hunting him down around the facility when you can just fly straight to where he left his Banshee and be done with it.
We track the heretic leader to this part of the station. Clear that landing zone and get inside.
That stench, I've smelled it before.
They are back, and they're even worse now. The Flood in this game are even more of a pain because unless you kill and destroy their corpses, they'll come back again to kick your shit in. And in some cruel irony, you're put on the slowest descending elevator of all time. Probably because of how pissed off I was that I would go constantly up an elevator in the library to progress, and yet I felt like I accomplished absolutely nothing besides suffer. But after all that, you catch up to the heretic leader, and in another smart and brilliant move you decide to cut the cable holding the facility in place to turn off the energy barrier that was locking the door, when all you had to do was just fly to the other side of the facility and find him there. But whatever, needed an excuse for a cool moment like this. So now, after doing all that, you finally catch up to the heretic leader, and now it's a boss fight against 3 heretic leaders, 2 of which are holographic, but still have strong shields. And the real one has a lot of health, so much so that you can't just kill him with a single swipe of an energy sword. You'll need to do that a couple of times. But now it's over, and thank God. Things can only get better from here. Right? Predictable, but hey, we're given a rocket launcher right out of the gate and we get to drive the Scorpion more than once in the game. That's an improvement. If only the Scorpion wasn't as weak as White Claw Seltzer. Seriously, why do you drink that shit? I'd get more drunk drinking my own piss. But as to be expected, more jackal snipers. I don't really have anything to say here. Fuck the underwater sections with the drones, sniper jackals, elite honor guards and hunters. Those can all fuck right off. Feels good beating this fucker to death though after all the shit I went through to get here.
That means the Phantoms are turning around. The fleet is preparing to fire on our position. We need to get out of here.
This is not your grave, but you are welcome in it.
And now we're back to playing as the Arbiter, and finally this game gives us a break from all the pain. But that won't matter, not when the worst is yet to come. You're starting off with just sentinels in hallways you can just walk through. Later on there's enforcers, these big flying robots, things that won't be an issue until the next mission. And the Flood, but now it's human instead of elite. For some reason they're a lot faster than the elites, but they have the added bonus of not having energy shields. Oh yeah, the elite Flood forms have energy shields, because fuck you. And they still have rocket launchers, but in an act of mercy they aren't as trigger happy as they were in Halo 1. Which is very odd given how unrelenting this game has been. But I'll take it. And to think, these things pale in comparison to the horrors of the sniper jackals. I need to stop talking about them. I think I made my point already. But overall, this isn't a bad mission. I love the atmosphere and music. This is sort of a weird one. Depending on how you approach it, this could be the easiest mission or one of the hardest. Simply because you can skip just about all of it so long as you remember that if you use active camouflage and then enter a vehicle you'll remain camouflaged. But keep in mind the enforcers, they can pick up your vehicle and kill you inside it, and rocket launcher Flood. Now here's the thing, the rocket launcher has this mechanic now which locks onto vehicles, and no matter where you fire your rocket it will find its way to wreck shit. The Flood also have this feature available to them. You can imagine how bad this is. The Flood can also use vehicles too, even scorpions, and they can hijack your vehicle. I didn't capture any of this happen because I completed this entire mission without dying or getting fucked over. If I were any better it would probably be a world record speed run. Then you have the gondola section, which you can simply avoid by doing this. And just like that you've beaten the mission. Now you stand there for 5 minutes.
Hurry, Arbiter! Get the icon!
Secure near the holy cause and beheld such a fortress. And on every hand I saw a great plain of woe and cruel torment. Bitter tombs were scattered with flame, made to glow all over, hotter than iron need be for any craft. And such dire laments issued forth as come only from those who are truly wretched, suffering, and forever lost.
You know, your father never asked me for help either.
The index is secure.
Mackenzie, Perez, how's our exit? You hear me, Marines? We got trouble.
Come on, motherfuckers.
How you doing?
Let that little mystery keep you up at night.
Sergeant, stay down!
What the hell are you on?
Johnson, you all right? Johnson!
This is a little bell I ring when someone's being a total ass.
Excellent work, Arbiter. The hierarchs will be pleased. The icon is my responsibility. Plus your responsibility. Now it is mine. A bloody fate awaits you and the rest of your incompetent race. I, Tartarus, chieftain of the brutes, will send you to it. When the prophets learn of this, they will take your head when they learn. Fool. They ordered me to do it.
What is that?
I am a monument to all your sins.
Get me out of here! Cut me loose! Cut me the hell! Come on, get me out of here! Come on, get me out of here! Cut me loose, damn it!
Relax. I'd rather not piss this thing off.
Demon. This one is machine and nerve, and has its mind concluded. This one is but flesh and faith, and is the more deluded. Kill me or release me, parasite. But do not waste my time with talk. There is much talk, and I have listened. Through rock and metal and time. Now I shall talk, and you shall listen.
Greetings. I am 2401 Penitent Tangent. I am the monitor of Installation 05.
I am the Prophet of Regret, Counselor Most High, Hierarch of the Covenant.
A reclaimer? Here? At last. We have much to do. This facility must be activated if we are to control this outbreak.
Stay where you are. Nothing can be done until my sermon is complete.
Not true. This installation has a successful utilization record of 1.2 trillion simulated and 1 actual. It is ready to fire on demand.
Of all the objects our lords left behind, there are none so worthless as these oracles. They know nothing of the great journey!
And you know nothing about containment. You have demonstrated complete disregard for even the most basic protocols.
This one's containment. And this one's great journey are the same. Your prophets have promised you freedom from a doomed existence, but you will find no salvation on this ring. Those who built this place knew what they wrought. Do not mistake their intent, or all will perish as they did before.
This thing is right. Halo is a weapon. Your prophets are making a big mistake.
Your ignorance already destroyed one of the sacred rings, demon. It shall not harm another. If you will not hear the truth, then I will show it to you. There is still time to stop the key from turning, but first it must be found. You will search one likely spot, and you will search another. Fate had us meet as foes, but this ring will make us brothers.
We are, all of us, gravely concerned. The release of the parasite was unexpected, unfortunate, but there is no need to panic. In truth, this is a time to rejoice. A moment that all the Covenant should savor. For the sacred icon has been found. With it, our path is clear, our entry into the divine beyond guaranteed. The great journey is nigh, and nothing, not even the flood, can stop it.
Boo.
Kill the demon!
Brutes! The faster you can kill those brutes, the better.
This is how broken legendary difficulty is. The second you start this mission you're dead, and you will keep dying. Again, and again, and again, and again. This is what happens when death dies. This is some Johnny got his gun level of suffering. And this is not only the worst mission of Halo 2, but the worst mission in the entire franchise. Nothing can top this, nothing can be more difficult. You wanna know how difficult this fucking mission is? I play Dark Souls 1 as a form of meditation and as a lesson in patience, but more importantly, resilience against insurmountable odds. But this is what breaks my will to continue. If that doesn't convince you enough, then you can try playing this for yourself and you will feel every second of it. To add insult to injury, if you die too many times at a certain checkpoint, the game might think you're stuck in a death loop and revert to the previous checkpoint, making you lose all your progress. And the progression from one checkpoint to the next makes Dark Souls bonfires feel like fucking quick saves. That's enough comparisons to Dark Souls. I'm sick of this meme and you are too, but I can't express how horrible this is to play to you well enough without it. This is pain.
Let's get the index and find a way out of here before things get really ugly.
Splinter, one in each fantasy.
The hopes of all the Covenant rest on your shoulders, Chieftain.
My faith is strong. I will not fail.
Let him be. The great journey waits for no one, brother. Not even you.
There are several sacred things in this world that you don't ever mess with. One of them happens to be another man's prize. And you remember that, and you will live a long and healthy life.
Brutes have betrayed us. The counselors.
After all that, I can't possibly say anything more about what comes after. The beautiful thing about the notion that what you have had to experience in life was the worst you've ever endured serves as a reminder that things can only be better. And if it gets worse, then what you just endured wasn't the worst thing you had to experience in your life. I know I'm just repeating what Lemmy said, but it's a reassuring statement I try to keep in mind as I go through life, and to some insignificant extent, video games, by all means, they are a temporary escape, mindless fun. But sometimes these things can move you in ways nothing else can, and make you ponder in a search of deeper meaning, or inspire creativity. There's something about all this that I can't simply ignore or discredit. And as I mentioned, I love and hate this game, and all of this is why. If you want me to give you any insightful or witty commentary here, I've got nothing. I did however forget to mention the introduction of the brutes, not a secret since we saw them at the beginning, but they're only introduced this late into the game as an enemy type. They don't have shields, but are so tanky that it feels no different, but they can be easily killed with a headshot, and I wouldn't advise sticking them with plasma grenades, as they will use it as an opportunity to take you with them. Whenever a brute captain is killed, they go back to monkey and beat you to death. I'm just glad they don't fling shit at me or rip my face off, but this game has been doing that enough to me already. However, it is almost over.
What have these brutes done? They had shed our brother's blood, and for that they must die. So much for a stealthy advance. Ah, over so soon?
Yep, there used to be a warthog run in this, but it was never included into the final game, but somehow, someone was able to restore it and it's awesome, and most people will probably not even be aware of its existence at all. But knowing that it exists, it makes the chapter title make a lot more sense, as well as why the mission ends so abruptly by you just standing at the edge of the map. Overall, this mission as it is in the final release is flawed and leaves a lot to be desired, even without having known about the existence of the Warthog run, which if included would have made things all the more worth it and make the most sense. This is the Chief's final moment and it was wasted potential. I at the very least liked the idea of the Flood quickly transforming High Charity into a fleshy hellscape, but that's all I can say that is a positive. Wait. Back the fuck up. Did I just fucking see that? That's not a beam rifle shot, that's from a sniper rifle. No fucking way. No fucking way did they just give the Flood sniper rifles. Oh my god. Holy fucking shit. And so we've made it to the Great Journey, the final mission of Halo 2. Does it make up for all the shit you went through to get here? No. It just doesn't. But that's not the mission's fault. I've been shoveled shit this whole time just to get here. I can't be expected to be in high spirits after all that. It's a slog to get to the Scarab, but it was cool to see you fighting with hunters. But because this is legendary, they won't be alive for very long. And there is this one area with another pair of hunters and elite counselors locked behind energy barriers. Just throw a few grenades on them or shoot them with a beam rifle and let them do all the heavy lifting. It's cool, I'll give it that.
Listen, you don't like me and I sure as hell don't like you.
I like you.
Alright, you like me, but I don't like you.
But if we don't do something, the Mohawk's gonna activate this ring. And we're all gonna die.
I just cannot believe any of this voodoo bullshit.
Well, I just happen to have a... Come on, grab a Banshee and give me some cover.
He's gonna know we're coming.
Then you've got an escort section with a Scarab, and with this you can use this time to do an exploit with a Spectre for the upcoming boss fight with Tartarus. Which will let you have multiple Johnsons with beam rifles spawn into the arena and kill Tartarus much faster, but I have my own method. It's not the best or the most practical way, but it's what I enjoy most.
What's that?
A beacon.
What's it doing?
Communicating at superluminal speeds with the frequency of...
Communicating with what?
The other installations.
Show me.
Fail-safe protocol. In the event of unexpected shutdown, the entire system will move to standby status. All remaining platforms are now ready for remote activation.
Remote activation? From here?
Don't be ridiculous.
Listen, Tinkerbell, don't make me...
Then where? Where would someone go to activate the other rings?
Why the Ark, of course.
And where, Oracle, is that?
Got a new contact, unknown classification. It isn't one of ours. Take it out.
This is Spartan 117.
Can anyone hear me? Over.
Isolate that signal. Master Chief, you mind telling me what you're doing on that ship?
Sir.
Trans rights are human rights. Master Chief,